Moving on in Chapter 10 of SOLIDWORKS Basic Tools, bottom-up assembly techniques. We're on page 1014, and we're going to create a new assembly. There are a number of different ways to bring components into an assembly. Under the Assembly tab, the simple way to simply insert component would be select this option, go to Browse, and select the items that we're looking to bring in. This is part of Chapter 10. You're going to need the pre-built parts and the link assembly. The first part they're asking us to bring in is the double link. So pull in the double link. When the double link comes in, see if I can get this out of the way, we want to see the origin, so make sure origins are visible. And now as we, now as I hover over origin, I can get it to lock. That first piece that we bring in is going to remain fixed. You can see there's an F here. It's telling us that this parent piece is fixed. We can make it float later on if we want to, but that establishes that position. Now, you can also bring items in by simply dragging them. So, grab this folder here. If we have a folder open and we want to bring in the double link, we can simply drag and drop it. So this might be an easier method than to use the insert, and we need a few more copies of this. So I'm just going to continue to drag that in. And we can drag in as many copies as we need. So we need 5 more. So there's that total of 6. You'll notice that we now have 6 copies of the double link. The last 5 have a minus sign in front of them, telling us that they have not been defined. We can move them around or constrained. This is our fixed parent, the number 1. We could change the color of that to make it easier for us to find by going into Appearances. We want to make sure we pick double link 1, not just the part itself, with just this copy of it, and we can make it whatever color we'd like. Now we're going to bring in the next component, so we can go back to Insert Component, or we can drag in from our window as I pointed out previously. So the next piece is our single link. We're going to add some mates, but before we add the mates, we're going to call up our selection filter. So we're going to go to, bless you, Liza. To turn on the selection filter, I'm going to hit the function 5 key, F5, and you'll notice I have this new toolbar added, and we're going to select the Filter Faces option, which is right here. And now we can begin our mates. So we're going to click on Mate and select the 2 faces, or the 2 holes as shown on page 1019. So I'm going to start with this guy. And come in here. Okay, the concentric option is what comes up. We're going to go ahead and click OK. Now we're going to add a with mate. So going in here, select the with mate option. We're going to select this face and this face, and now we're going to go select this face and this face, and it's going to center it in there for us. We can hit OK. Now we need to make some more copies excuse me, of this single link. Easiest way to make those copies is to hold your control key down and then click and drag and just pull this off, and you can just continue to do this and make as many copies as you need. It's a pretty efficient way to make additional copies. So we need to make a total of 4 instances, so we've already done that. Okay, we need to add mates to the rest of these parts that we just brought in. I'm just going to move these out of the way for a moment and move this guy in. Call up my mate command. We want to mate this to this. Oops. Accidentally had that part selected, so it assumed I was trying to mate those faces. I want to make sure that nothing is highlighted when we call up our mate command. Mate this guy to this guy, and then we can go back. We have to hit our check first, go back to advanced mates and call up our with, and hit OK. Add another one. I noticed that I had gotten carried away and brought too many of these parts in. The author only had 3 of these sections. So put those together. I noticed that he had this, an additional one of these. So should have 4 of these. Oh, I'm sorry, I have an extra one of these. So I'm going to delete this. This guy should be free to move, and then I'll put this guy in on the end so it excuse me, it looks like the author has it. So again, we're just going to grab a concentric mate. Oops, let me clear that face. Select that and that. Okay, go to our with mates. Alright, we need to pull some more parts in now. So we're going to pull in our pins. So I'm going to go into my folder and just drag them in. No, I can't find that. So I'm going to go to Insert Components, Browse. We're looking for the pin head. And I'll Insert Components, Browse, and what's the other one? Alignment pin. Here we go. Okay. So if we want to rotate this, any of these components, we can select the component that we want to rotate, click on it, and go to Rotate Component, and then we can, oops, try that again. There we go. So now we can rotate that component around. Remember, if we hold the control button, we can make additional copies, as many as we need. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And we're going to take this component, move it over here, and make 6 of these. Okay. Okay, let's put all these pins in. So we'll go with our mate. Select a concentric mate. Put this here. And we can mate this face to this face. And we'll have to do that for all of them. Let's add the mates for the pin heads now. Got that side done with the exception of the last one. Come in and select this face. And on this last pin, the author wanted to demonstrate the anti-align option. So we're going to do that just to show how to flip those. So I'm on page 1028. If we select this cylinder and this cylinder, and we select the anti-align option, you can see you can flip this part 180 degrees. It looks good. We'll now finish this and put that last pin in. Alright. As you can see, if we grab some of these links now, that we've reduced 2 degrees of freedom, but they're still able to act like a chain link. I'm going to go to Save As. Chapter 10, bottom up assembly. And this is the, what are we calling this one? Links.